Hello everybody, this is Joel, aka Bourbon Dingo, and welcome to episode 12 of my second series on Let's Play Crusader Kings 2. Right before I started up, I was actually looking through some of the claims that I had before I started up the game, and I want to show you how cool this name is. You can see that right there. We can apparently press the claim for the Bride of Athol. That's just kind of an epic name. And I'm really tempted to do so, but we're going to hold off on that. But, as you can see, last episode we pressed into Ireland. We still will have once we usurp this title, which I can do now, but like I said, we're trying to hold off and make sure I don't dip below 300 gold for whenever the loan comes due. We're going to usurp that title, and then we're going to wait for the 10 years to pass, or for the truce to expire in another way. Now, right now, we're just trying to take either Desmond or Ormond. I'm trying to get some more continuity to our lands. We have our little colony up here in Scotland. As you can see, England's still running into its issues. Holy Roman Empire is still pathetically stable. Genoa is taking more lands down here. The Fatimids seem to have gotten pushed back by the new Karu Sultanate. Byzantine Empire is still as big as it is. Little area of Hungary over here. Ruthenia is getting larger. Seem to be at war with a large portion of Sweden. Why is that? Oh, because we are at war with Sweden at the behest of the King of Norway. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Alright. And the Duke of Meath, who is my marshal. Still doing awesome. We have claimed Leinster as our second. I'll take a quick look. Someone was imprisoned and then immediately released. We handed Thomond off to one of my vassals. But as I said, what we're waiting on right now is for our loan to come due. Is his war going well? His war is up to 86%, and as I said, the second we see that this war has become successful, and it's been raising slowly every single time we check, we're going to go take some of our de jure area in Cornwall or Devon back. As you can see, I can declare war on both of them, but I don't want to declare war in the midst of their combat, because I don't want them just to surrender back to England again immediately afterwards, rendering our combat useless. As you can see at this point, he still very much doesn't like us. He's going to like us even less here shortly. So I'm currently saving up 135 gold, so once we get up to about 440 gold. Alright, we're paying back the loan we took. So as you can see, now I don't have to worry too much about making sure I keep a certain amount. Taking a quick glance, they're still at war and up to a 94% war score. Oriel has seemed to have joined battle against King William the Drunkard. %2 more war score. Alright. And Norway has taken Metal Pod. They're up to a 99% war score, and they still have an area taken right here. So I'm thinking that this should be over almost immediately. Yep, we now currently have a truce. And it was won by Duke Cornwall. So this is now officially a independent area. And because we are the fine, upstanding citizens that we are, we're going to go ahead and press our claim on Cornwall. Wish I could press the claim on both at the same time, but I can't. I'm considering that we likely won't need any other troops in our own. And I'm going to wait to usurp that area until I finished off this combat. Mostly because if I finish off this combat first, I won't have to worry if he decides to declare war or anything of that nature. Which I doubt he will, but it's not something I want to test. Alright, we have all 2,000 of our troops there. We're going to go ahead and combine them real fast. And I'm looking at the army. I believe I'm going to take my king out of it. We'll send Irewith there. Taking a look, he doesn't have any bonuses. Let's make sure the other two that are leading this army, he should be good at flanking, so he's in the right spot. He is an aggressive leader who is good at pursuit and damage, so there's no issue with where he's located either. And so, because we waited for the end of this combat, he can't, and now that he's completely independent, he can't just surrender to England, which will work for us in the long run. Alright, I mean, we've pushed off about 400 of his troops. If he continues on and moves into one of our lands, we'll call up our vassal troops. Alright. Hunger strikes the defending troops. As you can see, they have about 500 troops in their levy. We just had a courtier from the Iberian Peninsula arrive at our court for some reason. I'm not sure. He may have been banished. Alright, we're going to go ahead and usurp this area right now. Once again, that's going to be my third duchy title, so what I may end up having to do is simply assign someone to Leinster and make them the Duchy of Leinster. I mean, sorry, the Duke of Leinster. To remove that penalty. You can see one of my vassals actually dislikes me. Had smallpox break out in Philmond over there. And actually, the vassal that dislikes me just tried to fabricate a claim on the Duchy of Dehubarth. What we're going to do is I'm going to wait until I finish this very first sieging here, and then we're going to try and one of my other people are trying to kill. Alright, we finished this first siege. I'm going to pause as I come up here, and I'm going to imprison him in an attempt to possibly take away his title from him. Okay, I succeeded in taking away his title from him. As you can see, I can banish him for a penalty to everyone. I don't believe I'm going to do that. I kind of wish I hadn't captured him, to be honest. His heir right now is 1 year old. He's 21. I'm going to leave his heir alone, and we'll just leave them in control of that area. I really wish I could have taken that area, because I would like to turn this part right here into my main holding. The Count of Thomond to pass away, so now we currently have a Countess Marjorie of Thomond, and if she passes away, we actually gain Thomond. Not real worried about gaining it. I'll keep an eye out on her. Possibly betroth one of my children. In fact, wow, he's not turning out very well at all, is he? I think I'm going to go ahead and betroth Cadfan here to Thomond. I'm not sure that this will absolutely work, but it's worth checking. And they'll take that. And that'll work for me. Once again, it'll assure that my bloodline stays on spread out. Okay. We have just found out that Count Grufford of Isle of Man is he's in a faction I think I'm going to do nothing for now. He only has 10% of the troops, and no one has joined his faction yet. Done that again. I'm going to go ahead and actually change him over to just stealing technology from Brythny up here. Alright, we've won the second holding. And he's ready to go ahead and capitulate to us. We'll send that off. While we're waiting on that, we're going to go ahead and educate one of my children. Before we do that, I'm actually going to appoint Prince Goodmund here as the Count Dwarf. He gains a little prestige, a little piety, and he likes me more. Okay. Take a quick look by opinion. And, I believe I'll allow Isabel here to train her. We're up to about 150 gold, so I'm going to check in real fast. I believe I'm going to go ahead and build a small stable. Dyfed. Alright, and he's gone ahead and he's surrendered to us. As you can see, he does not like us at all right now. I'm unsure how our crown authority actually affects him, but it does. But oh well. Once again, we've had the ability to usurp pop up, so once we get about 130 gold, we may do that as well. Let's go ahead and undo that. Take a look what's been built here. Not a whole lot has been built. Just little to no issue there. We're going to come out and check our de jure duchies. We need to take that. We need to take those 3 as well. The other thing I'm going to check while we're waiting on something else to occur is de jure kingdoms. And currently, as you see, we are now, like here, it was being incorporated de jure into the Kingdom of England, and we've stopped that. And these are de jure portions of the Kingdom of Wales. However, the areas we've taken up here are now starting to drift into the Kingdom of Wales. As you can see, both of these areas up here are 26 years into becoming the Kingdom of Wales. But, we could declare this war, but we would take a large penalty in doing so. So I'm going to hold off. We'll try to hope that we get the that amount of time set up. I think we're going to hand Cornwall off, possibly to one of our sons. Not too sure on that one. Our children will tend to dislike the ruler once he takes control, so I'm sort of tempted to not do that. Just take a look at our court, find somebody who likes us and isn't in a position to challenge us, really. Appears my uncle is only the master of the hunt, and he does have a claim on the Duchy of Gwynedd, but if he only has 1 county, I'm not expecting him to press that. So that's what we're going to do for now. We're going to go ahead and grant him the county of Cornwall. Taking a look real fast, you can see we now have 2 truces. One that ends in 1147, so 7 years, and another that ends in about 10 years. If possible, if our king is still alive, we'll press both those claims. They will still be available, and all I need to do is keep checking back every once in a while to see if maybe either of these kings might pass away. Or in this case, the Earl of Ossory, or just the Duke of Caddock. Or Duke Caddock of Cornwall. Like I said, once I get up to about 132, I'm considering handing off. In fact, as it stands, I believe I'll hand off Leinster. Once again, just look for somebody who doesn't have a lot of pull. I don't want to give him any lands because I want to keep my daughter within my within my realm. Okay, my Chancellor appears to have a crown. He's the Chancellor of Wales. I'm not seeing that he holds any claims on anything, nor does he have any homes. He is, however, not married. He apparently married my mother. Been up here, and they didn't have any children. So what I'm going to do real fast is grant... I'll let him choose who he marries. We're going to grant him over into Leinster. And now that we have given him that, I'm also going to go ahead and give him that duchy so that I can get rid of the penalty for controlling it. Do have to wonder. He's apparently joined the war against England. Lately I've become a bit paranoid, or I could become a bit trusting. I'd rather have my intrigue jump up, so I think I might become paranoid a little bit here. But I didn't. I believe I can still declare war. Not now, because I have the truce, but I can declare war. But it'll count as a claim for him on Leinster, so it'll allow him to control both of those areas. I may not be entirely happy with that, but it is what it is. Taking a quick glance up here, there doesn't appear to be much going on. Scotland still seems very stable. He is crafting a retinue, however. We jumped up to about 135. What I think I'm actually going to do is wait until right before I start this attack to usurp that title, because in that case I can use that just simply to attack Devon, gain it, and then hand it off, and I can choose to keep both of the areas weak. My heir currently had his first son, which turns him into our future heir. He was born with genius, so that's always good. We're gonna have to make sure he gets a good education, which is why he's not leaving our court for as long as I can make it happen. Alright, we have the Duke of Meath still imprisoning people. Okay. And he has declared war on Oriel in a claim on Oriel's area. I'll have to keep a watch on him because he's starting to become powerful. That'll be another area under his direct control. Okay. One of my sons is concerned he isn't married. He is ambitious. What I may do with him, he has relatively good stats across the board though. What I may do with him is find a duchess somewhere to marry him off to. Maybe a countess or baroness. In fact, that's what I'll do. I'll betroth him off to a German baroness. Okay. My daughter has become a spy master for the Earl of Sussex. We just gained a claim on Ormond for 120 gold. We actually have that, so I won't have to go into debt. Lose a little bit of prestige, but I'll gain it almost immediately back. Because we're going to move him down into Desmond to start trying to fabricate claims there. I'm going to offer vassalization. As you can see, he's not going to take it from us. I'm going to declare war. I'm going to pull up our soldiers. I think I'm just going to pull them all up right now. See, he caught my guys a little bit before I could get up there, and we lost that battle. Okay, we're gonna hit OK on that, and we're gonna go ahead and find our way into Ormond once again. This might be a little bit easier to actually have pulled up ships and to have just jumped across, but alright, we've cleared out his soldiers. It appears that the person who we actually called the war on died almost immediately after we called that war. And his 2-year-old daughter is currently in control of the area. Now, in taking a quick look, we can see one of the issues here is that he called in King Kenneth of Scotland to help him. Okay. We can see that we are close to that 1 in 10. Alright. We have one where the son is trying to kill his father. There's an interesting thought. He has no siblings, so it would drop down to a kinswoman. We're going to go ahead and just try to get him to end that plot. He likes us quite a bit. We're going to just go ahead and build some arrow slits. He agreed. Moving out, there's nothing really going on right now that I have to worry about here. Son Cadfin came of age, and you can see he's fairly adept at quite a few things. Duke Edgar here seems to be winning his bid to retake the throne. As I said, all I'm going to do real fast is take we have more than 10 to 1, so I'm actually going to go ahead and start that assault here. As you can see, that turned it into immediate surrender. We're going to go ahead and usurp that area. Disband those troops. We become the Count of Ormond. As you can see, I can actually create the Duchy of Munster for about 120 gold. And I may do that and simply hand off the duchy to this countess here. Alright, and we're getting really close to the 30-minute mark. What I'm going to do is actually kick the speed up to about 4. And I'm just going to let the clock run. My steward's passed away. We're going to go ahead and set up another steward and have him collect taxes for us. Let's find someone to give Ormond off to. He's unmarried, and he's a relatively decent character across the board. And he very much likes us. So we're going to go ahead and grant him the County of Ormond. Actually, first, let's see if we can't marry him off. Possibly to one of our daughters. There's no one in our court who is of our dynasty. I think we're just going to go ahead and actually marry him off to someone else. Alright, and then we're going to immediately grant him the County of Ormond. Give him all the lower titles. Alright. And looking at the both of them, I think I will still grant... Oh, we're going to actually create the Duchy of Munster. And grant that to her. Alright. Betrothed can marry. Okay, we've lost our spy master, but that's not a horrible deal. We'll set our wife to still go to Brighton and do whatever's there. My daughter has become the spy master for the King of Rus. And all we're doing right now is waiting for the we currently have some raised army levies. Where do we have some raised army levies? Way up there, because I forgot about them. As you can see, the Buchan passed to King Kenneth, so we lost that area. I believe I can go ahead and press a de jure claim on Desmond. However, he is an ally. I'm not sure I want to lose that 50 prestige. But it would be a good thing to end today. We'll actually hold off. I could probably offer him vassalization, to be honest. And he would accept. We're going to go ahead and send him a vassalization request. And as you can now see, we have gained Desmond through non-military means. I'm going to transfer vassalization of him, however, and to her, so that she doesn't dislike me for having a vassal that should be her vassal, not be under her control. There are a couple plots. We're going to look real fast. See if there's anything I should absolutely try to stop. And there doesn't appear to be anything that I can tell. This is my youngest son, and he is not horrible by any means. So we're going to keep him around for a little bit. There is another plot where my son, who he sent off, is now trying to kill my heir. And I can't imprison him. So we're going to send him 20 gold and see if he'll do it then. And he will. Alright. We have had the Pope died December 30th and was replaced by Pope Marcellius. Who is a leper, which is always great. Probably won't hold on to that Pope for very long. Currently we are going to call it quits. As you can see, we have gone ahead and claimed most of Southern Ireland. We are waiting until our truce with the Duke of Cornwall is up to press our claim on Devon here. We have actually gotten a new Earl of Ossory. I could press that claim right now. Before I let you guys go, we're going to see if he takes a vassalization offer, which he doesn't. He's currently at war. So that will be one of the very first things we do in the next episode. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and press that de jure. No, I'm not. We're going to go ahead and move our Chancellor into Ossory and try to take it through those means. But beyond that, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits, and I will see you during the very next episode. Thanks for watching, guys.